Hello and welcome to another episode of Kajabi in 5 minutes. Today is going to be the first video or podcast, in the series on offers that I'm doing. So we're going to start with the basics on the offers. To get to offers, from the dashboard of Kajabi, you click on Sales and you click on Offers. And then you are brought to a list of all of your offers. And you can sort this list I guess it's pretty much sorting by all your offers, all your draft offers, and all your published offers. And I recommend just looking at your published offers because this list can get clogged up with a lot if you're seeing all of your draft and published together. And it might be confusing because sometimes we like to name our offers the same thing. And on that topic, when you go into an offer, you'll see that there's an offer title and then below that, an internal title. So the internal title is what's going to show up on your offers list when you're in Kajabi looking at your offers. And this can be really useful because you may have a program and you may have multiple pricing options for it for your people. Single payment and a payment plan, maybe 3 months and maybe 6 months. So if that's 3 different offers, you're going to need the internal title. You're going to use the internal title, to distinguish between the different offers on your end. The public or that first offer title bar is going to be the same on all of them. And so your client, whenever they see the offer title, they'll just see it as the name of your program, if that's what you're using. But on your end, because of the internal title, you can add in whatever you want there so that it's easy for you to see which offers are which. And this is important because you're not always looking at your offers on the offer page. You might be editing a landing page and attaching a checkout page to your CTA button. Say it's on the sales page. And when you click on the CTA and you go in the toolbar on the left into the action and the drop down to checkout page, then you go, a new drop down pops up to show you which checkout page, and all you get is the titles there. You don't get any of the details. And so the internal title can be super useful for that, just helping you know which is which. Now, while you're there, coming back to the offer that you're working on, you're in the offers details area, you've got your title, you've got your internal title, and then you've got the product area. And so this is where you can add products to the offer. And what that means is if somebody purchases or completes the checkout page, then they will get that product or those products if you've added more than one. Now, you can actually set up an offer with no products, and that's called a ghost offer. And basically what it does is it just gives the checkout page functionality so people can give you money, and an action is happening when they complete that purchase or complete that checkout page. And that action allows you to trigger automations. So you can complete a purchase, you can trigger automations, but there can be no product attached. It's a ghost offer. And this is something that could be pretty relevant if you're doing a webinar or a live event, and there's no digital product that they need for it. They just need, the meeting link, or they just need to show up. Or maybe you're sending them something in the mail and there's no digital thing attached. So you don't have to have a product in there. You can put as many as you want and you can have none. So that's that. Underneath the product is two little boxes, one for when access begins and one for how long access is. And that's counted in days. And so if you give somebody access for, say, 180 days, then after their purchase or after their access begins, by default, access begins as soon as they make a purchase. 180 days from then, their access is gone. They go to log in. That product isn't there in their library anymore. So that's what that does. And when does access begin is again something that you can set, which allows you into the future. Which allows you to sell something right now and then have it start later on, pre-selling a program. And this is great if you are doing something that has a live element to it. Say you're you're bringing a group through a thing. And part of the thing is they have, pre-recorded trainings or different materials. And the other part of it is that you are going to be there, with them at certain periods to do stuff. And you want everyone to be on the same schedule. That's the key. So you set a start date to be when you want it to start. And then you can sell anytime before that. And everybody will be on the same schedule. They'll get access at the same time, and they'll be, just on the same schedule. This is very important if your course that you are selling in that has dripped content, because the drip schedule on the course starts as soon as the access starts. So if somebody buys something and they get access immediately that day, the drip schedule starts that day. If they buy something and they get access, 2 or 3 weeks from now, then the drip schedule starts 2 or 3 weeks from now whenever you've set access to start. And so that can be very relevant for the timing of things that you've got going on. And those are the other 2 boxes there, access start date and access length for the products that you are selling. Now, really quickly, just to wrap up this product area, if you ever add something to an offer, say you set up an offer and you sell it, and it's great, and you've got people in it doing stuff, but then, a month or however long later, you decide to add another product to it. You have to choose if everyone who already has that offer gets that product, or only people moving forward, only new purchases get that product. And so Kajabi lets you choose that. And that's how that works. So if you're ever wondering, well, what happens if I change an offer? Well, in this area, the product area, that change can be applied retroactively, or it can be applied only moving forward. You get to decide. And so that is a few bits about the product. And tune in to the next episode. We're going to go over the post-purchase action and some automation stuff. And then after that, we're moving into pricing. See you then.